Hey everybody, Superfluous Jay here with another episode of Kerbal Space Program Kiwi Builders, and it is the dawn of a new day at Kerbal Space Center, and it's the dawn of a new age for the Kerbals. It's the age of Minmus. It's going to be a pretty short age. We have one contract to do, and that contract, well, we have a lot of contracts to do, but one contract to pick up, and that contract is to investigate TMA 8 around Minmus. We're going to accept that contract. Just to review, we also are going to be planting a flag. We're going to be positioning a satellite in polar orbit. We're going to finish constructing a rover. We are going to gather surface deployed mystery goo observations from the moon. That's just going to happen. We've already got 30% of it, so it's just going to happen eventually. We're going to investigate TMA 8, which we just did, and we are going to gather deployed mystery goo observations from Minmus, which are also happening 30%. So really, it's mostly this rover, TMA 8, and getting a satellite on there. The flag will just happen when we do it. Now, we have 3,252 science. Currently, we can only research up to things that cost 500, and we need 3.3 million, which is more than twice of what we have. So we're not going to be upgrading research and development anytime soon, so we are a bit limited in what we can do here. So what do we got here? We don't really need heat management. This battery upgrade, probably not a bad idea. More probe cores, not necessary really when it comes down to it. Antennas, don't need them. Survey scanner, probably good. We could put that on that satellite that we're going to be putting around the thing. The Sentinel telescope is a good thing to get because we're going to want a Sentinel contract in order to do this. The pomegranate, why not? We have the science for it. Three-man command pod. Don't really feel the need for it, to be honest. What does that unlock, though? It unlocks 20% reduced mass in command pods. That's not a bad idea. And it gets us the chance to do this to the command pod, which, you know, whatever. I don't really consider. I don't care about the pod itself. I don't really care about the thing. We got rotors. Not really looking forward to doing that. All the airplane stuff I just don't care about. Robotic stuff, honestly, I don't really care about that either. I like it. It's really fun, but I don't generally use it. We got a bunch of decouplers. Might as well take those. We got engine upgrades. We got engines. I'm just looking at the fact that we've still got like 1,000 of our science. Let's just go ahead and pick up everything we can, all the things we want, and then the things we don't necessarily want, but we might as well just to get them. Might as well get these antennas. Maybe the Sentinel. It'll come in handy. And then we're down to 500 science. We basically unlocked everything we could possibly want. We need 8 more science. I probably should have looked and gotten this one first, but oh well, not a big deal. Or did we actually get? No, we need 8 more science to research this. Now going up here, we got some probe core upgrades that we wanted to do. In particular, let's see, we've already got that one. Yeah, we already own that upgrade, but we want to own this upgrade in particular, which gives us maneuver node things. $200,000. And honestly, I think it's worth it. So we're just going to pick that up. Parachutes upgrade, don't really care about that at the moment. So we're going to stick with that. And I think we're going to do this reduced mass on these guys, $30,000. I think that's worth it to reduce the mass on those. So that just makes our things better. Now, let's go ahead and plan out what we're going to do here. We've got multiple things we want to do. We've got planting a flag. Obviously, it's just going to happen. Okay, we need a probe. It's going to be in a polar orbit, which is perfect for that scanner. And we need a magnetometer boom on that probe. So let's go ahead and get our basic probe here. Let's start with that. Psi returner. I guess we don't actually have a good satellite, but we have this goo sat, which will probably work fine. We just take the goo off of it. Take this off for now. Take the magnetometer off for now. Honestly, maybe even take the hex core off for now. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. And let's put on the old standard small inline reaction wheel and octo. And we're going to have to put this magnetometer on here at some point. And we're going to have to put this antenna on here at some point. But we also now are going to want this survey scanner, which is huge. But we want to survey Minmus. We want to know what's up, and we might as well. We have a satellite that we're getting paid to put in orbit. We might as well do that to it. What are we looking at here as far as delta V in a vacuum? 893 is not bad. We can probably, as long as we throw this thing at Minmus, it can get into orbit, no problem. So let's look at our center of mass. Honestly, not that bad. If we just shift something very slightly, maybe this. Let's try it. Let's go 3, no 2. And then slide it a little bit to the right. There, that's perfect. And then I think we'll pull it back out a little bit. Why did I try to fix it? There we go. And then obviously this thing is not the way we want it. Let's go ahead and turn off this so we can see what we're doing. And we'll put this right here, and that should be fine. Let's rotate this around. And then rotate this around and see what that looks like. Can I buy that? Not really. Can we pretend that that's not clipping? I think, you know what? I think I'm okay pretending that's not clipping. Because when we deploy this thing, it's going to go like that. When we deploy this, it's going to go like that. We can just pretend that they move these things out of the way. I think that's totally fine. That's how I justify in my own personal canon what this thing looks like. We're still fine as far as the center of mass is concerned, and with that thing we'll be good. These antennas will be fine. Now, one thing, in order to transmit survey scans back, we're gonna need some batteries, and I don't know offhand how many of those batteries we're gonna need. So whenever I don't know, I always throw 2 on there, and you know what? It'll be a fun little restocking mission if we need more. We'll send somebody up there with a couple batteries to fix that. But I think 2 will be fine for Minmus. Minmus is a pretty small planet world, if you decide you want to call it that. So let's go 1. When I say 2, I mean 2 of these batteries specifically, and that actually makes this better. Look at that. Kind of want to upgrade the thing here. Let's go ahead and set him to the thing. We still got 867 meters per second. Somehow we have the same amount of meters per second as we had before, which is weird. But I'm going to accept that as a thing. I don't know what I like better. I guess I like that better. I don't really have an opinion on that. Okay, so this is our satellite. Let's go ahead and call it a relay scan. And you know what? I'm not even going to save it because this is the only time we're going to use a satellite anything remotely similar to this. So let's go ahead and reroute it to its engine. Yeah, there's actually no reason to do that. Okay. Now, we're going to have to detach this from something. And you know what? I'm going to call this Minmus 2. I don't know what we should actually call it. But we're going to save this, and we're going to leave. I need to know what we have around Minmus, because we have a station around Minmus. I just don't remember what it was. And I think what it was here's what it is your standard Minmus station. The standard station that we have for everything. And if that's true, then it has a whole bunch of stuff on it already. Possibly including a Kerbal or 2. I really don't know. No, there are no Kerbals on. No, there are 2 Kerbals on the station. Chris and Kiwi. Chris and Kiwi. We've got a scientist and an engineer. We also have a lander. Kiwi is apparently in a seat. So we have this nice lander. So we can actually do this mission right now. Other than the fact that, how are we doing on fuel? He's full of fuel. He's got plenty of fuel. So we're actually good. And this thing has a bunch of stuff on it, including some batteries. So if we really need to fix that satellite, we can, which is really nice. This ship has everything up to a magnetometer. It also, I assume it has a gravioli detector. It does. So we're good as far as science is concerned on these guys. One thing we could bring up here, though, would be the other survey scanner. So we don't have one of those on there, and it'd be kind of nice to get that either on the station or on this ship to find, probably on this ship, and maybe both survey scanners, so we can find out what it's like landed. That might be a nice thing to have. So let's go ahead and go back to the Space Center, knowing that, and go. So we don't need to send people up, which is nice. Crewy and Chris can be the Minmus crew. We're eventually going to need to send up another engineer to man the ground base that's drilling for fuel, but that can we can burn that bridge when we come to it, if you will. So let's go ahead and start planning this thing. So really, what we need, we don't actually need that much now that I'm thinking about it. We need they're going to be able to plant a flag. We've already got the orbiter. We need to finish construction of a rover on the surface of Minmus. What does that entail? Active rover. After you accept this contract, you can view the rover in the tracking station, evaluate the missing parts, and make plans to move it to the target waypoint. You'll likely need to send an engineer to attach parts to the rover. Okay, so I guess we got to go back to the mission control, which is annoying, or tracking station. I'm sorry, which is annoying, and actually look at the rover that's up on the moon. So let's check it out and see what we're dealing with here. I've never taken one of these contracts before, so I don't actually know what to expect. It doesn't show up in here. So let's go ahead and find this rover. That's not it. Nerd's Luck. I don't see a rover on the surface of Minmus. What, maybe it's a waypoint? Let's see what the thing says. Yeah, move the rover. You can view the rover in the tracking station. Evaluate the missing parts and make a plan to move the rover to the target waypoint. I don't see a rover. This is experiment control. So is this the rover? No, this is the second experiment control. I made both of these experiment controls. There is not a rover on this planet. These are do gravity scans. These are all things I did. Here's the TMA-8. Honestly, I think this might be bugged. Minmus Science Getter. Yeah, I'm kind of expecting a rover to be here, and it's not. Moon Station, Experiment Control, Minmus Station. I think it was supposed to spawn a rover and it didn't. But I don't know that. So I'm going to exert my authority here and go into Alt F12, Contracts, Active, and I didn't do anything wrong, so I am going to cancel this thing. I'm not going to give myself the credit of doing it, but I am going to cancel it. And then I'm going to see if maybe another one comes up. I don't see anything. Deployed science, exploration, field research, flag planting, part testing, satellites. We do have another one for Minmus. We have this one for Gilly, but we're not ready yet for that. What do I mean? Just a regular satellite in orbit of Minmus. You know what? I'm going to take it. It'll help pay for this ship here. Surveys, we're not going to do. Tourism. So yeah, the rover contract is no longer on the list. So we'll just wait and see what happens if we get another one later. Definitely like to do one just to see what it's like, but I'm not gonna accept failure when I didn't do anything wrong. That's just the way I roll. Okay, let's get back to what we were doing here. This is gonna be a pretty simple mission, actually. It's gonna be easier than I thought. Let's go ahead and open up Minmus 2. Look at that, we even had a Minmus 1. I didn't even know it. I guessed when I named this thing Minmus 2. So yeah, so all we're doing, we're sending this satellite up. We're sending another satellite up. That's like the simplest satellite on the face of the Earth. So let's go ahead and get ourselves a fairing here. And honestly, this one's probably good enough. Yeah, let's go ahead and put it on here. Let's go ahead and turn on interstage nodes. Then we can do this. Actually, let's throw a decoupler on this guy. Then do this. And then we'll throw another decoupler down here. And then just a simple little ship. Let's make the easiest satellite we can with a relay satellite or relay antenna. Okay, stealth edit there. So yeah, we need a very simple ship. We need to start with an engine, and let's see, yeah, that hooks onto there. I know it hooks onto the decoupler because I put that strut on there. And I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to hit F4, not F4, I'm going to hit 4, make that the center, and then pull this off just so we can build this thing easily. And I don't really see any reason not to put another Oscar on there. And the control majigger thing, wherever it is, there it is. This guy and our standard communications antenna. Rotated, of course. Needs some power. Good old-fashioned double thing there. Let's see, what do we got? Antenna, power. Orbiter on Minmus. Perfect. That'll do it. So, this guy can go like this. Then this guy can go here. And then we can say 2 sides clamshell. Yeah, let's go ahead and build the fairing. Just a nice, simple up and down here. Looks nice. It'll get the job done. No, it won't. Because I forgot to reroute it. There we go. Bring this up. These two guys will be fine by themselves. We want to do the fairing all by itself. And these are totally mismatched. Doesn't matter who's who, but this makes more sense to me to do that one first. We also want to make these things. Come on, let me. The decoupler, I want the force percent to be 0. Probably on both of them. That one's more important than this one, but I want the force percent to be 0 so he doesn't get shot up into the top of that guy. Okay. What would happen if we were to just toss this on the bottom and actually have it be on the bottom? It's not a bad thing, although I would like to get these things to Minmus with the fuel in them. At least, get them on their way to Minmus with the fuel in them, I should say. So let's go ahead and slap a fuel tank. Probably doesn't need to be much. We'll say that. And an engine, let's say maybe a Terrier. You really like to put things in these upper stages, don't you? 484. Yeah, that's not as much as I was hoping. Let's go ahead and double that fuel tank. Good old FLT 200. That's closer. Not as good as I was hoping. What if we, what's the thrust to weight with the Terrier? Very low. So yeah, we're going to want more fuel. And a better engine. Ignore the cat in the background. Valiant. We haven't used the Valiant in a while. It says material baseline material, but I don't see a place to upgrade this thing. It used to have like upgrades, and I don't know. It doesn't really matter. So where's this engine? It's right here. Let's get it down here. That's like a ridiculously large amount of fuel. How come... Are we Delta V or Delta V altitude? Aye. Okay. Let's go back to this then. Stupid altitude. Yeah, I don't need nearly this much of anything. I should have realized that. It felt wrong, but I didn't know. It's been too long since I've played the game. There we are. That's like twice as much as we need. This is kind of stupid, actually, having all this. You know what? More is always better than less. So let's do this. And then, because this is gonna make this heavier, so we're gonna have to use some of this Terrier in the atmosphere to get us into orbit, which is fine. No, I don't want that decoupler. I want this one. And you. And you start. You go here. That's plenty. That's plenty. What's the thrust to weight on this guy? 4.96. A ridiculously large thrust to weight. Okay. What am I doing? Bringing this guy back down. We're going to put some fins on the back of him. Probably not basic fins. I think we're gonna have to upgrade our fins here. We'll do this. We will do this. And then we will do, we need somebody to be the root part. This is the root part right now, which is fine. Let's actually change the root part to, let's do this top one here. And then we're going to rotate. Oh. Dang it. I hit 4 instead of 3. There we go. There's our, and you can't like reselect the guy to be root. Okay, we're gonna tilt this thing pretty dramatically. Let's go ahead also and auto strut this to the root. Auto strut this to the root. And that should be fine. That should be fine. This guy should be auto strutted to the heaviest part. And might as well auto strut this to the heaviest part too. It's probably overkill on the struts, but hey. Let's go ahead and save this, and that's it. It's two satellites going to Minmus. That's literally it. Because everything else is going to happen with the ships that are up there. So let's go ahead and back out. Because we're going to try. I've never done this before, but apparently if you launch from the desert airfield, it's at the perfect angle if Kerbin is set up right to launch to Minmus. And I don't know how that works. I mean, I know how it works, but I don't know the specifics of it. But instead of the desert airfield, Crater Rim is probably about as far north as the desert launch site is south. So we're going to launch from Crater Rim. Just for something new. Now we're going to be launching over a continent, which is probably not what you want to do, but who cares, right? So it's as far north as that is south. So I think we probably want to lead Minmus a little bit. So we want to launch about when it's here. And I'm going to grab this and turn it around there. So it's actually even dawn. And what I'm doing here is Minmus is the farthest north, right, basically here. So we're gonna lead it a little bit because that's kind of where we're gonna end up. So we want Crater Rim to be about here. So let's go ahead and fast forward. This is all guesswork. I have no idea what I'm doing. So we're gonna bring our Kerbal Space Center just about there. And now we're gonna go back. I don't even know if this is gonna work. as far as a launch is concerned. Here, by the way, is Crater Rim. It is one of my favorite launch sites that I made. The antenna, you can't quite see it, but it's right there. Yeah, you can't see it. It's right there. If you were to launch a plane, that's the island in the middle of the crater right there. I think this is fantastic. But anyway, we are going to, I don't know exactly how the launch pad is set. We're going to be launching over Kerbal Space Center. So basically 50, or like 180 degrees from where we normally are. So I think what we want to do is close this. We need to go into vehicle assembly building. We need to rotate that thing around because it's gonna get itself into orbit. And we might need to fiddle with the angles, and I'll probably do that off camera. So let's go ahead and hit 3. We need to basically change everything that we're doing here. This guy is the root part, so we need to put him back upright because you can't rotate when it's angled for some reason. Gonna rotate him around just so he's facing this the way we normally would want him to be, and we're gonna do that. We're gonna save this and launch it and see what happens. Okay, that is perfect. Oh wow, that's dramatic too. Okay, I have no idea what's gonna happen. Let's go 3, 2, 1. Not gonna turn on SAS. Launch. It's way too much of an angle, but we'll find out what happens here in a second. There's our satellite dish. Actually, this way too much of an angle is looking less like way too much of an angle. Where apoapsis is already out of the atmosphere. And our craft exploded. Okay. Let's actually check and see how we are in relation to min-miss right now. Let's go ahead and set this as our target. Yeah, actually, we're pretty good. Well, we're 10 degrees off. But I think we'd be fine. So let's go ahead and revert the flight to vehicle assembly. We're going to need to make a couple changes here. Most notably, we're going to need to throttle our solid way down. Probably 50%. And then look and see what that does for us. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. Let's go ahead and try that. Let's go ahead and save it and launch it. Okay, once again, 3, 2, 1, launch. The thing hit the launcher. The fin hit the launcher, and we are going right into the mountain here. Let's go ahead and just watch this just for the fun of it, and revert to vehicle assembly. This is why you test things. Okay, so what did we learn here? That this is bad. That's what we learned. Maybe if we raise this up, give it a chance to clear it. Maybe. Yeah, no, these are just too far, just too close to each other. So I guess we're gonna have to put this like down here and raise these up a little bit. Still 4 of them. There we go. Those, and then these can come like that. Save it and launch it. Okay, I'm not 100% sure, but I think I failed to click start recording on the last launch. Normally this thing is tilted over 15 degrees. I just tilted it over 10 degrees because it was too low. So we're trying it again. We're trying this tilted at 10 degrees instead of 15. With a 50% throttle on the solid. The problem was because it was tilted over 15, it was too far sideways and the fairing burned out again. But our tilt was pretty good in relation to min-miss, so I'm pretty happy about that. This is already looking a lot better. We're at 45 degree tilt with our apoapsis around 10, which is lower than I normally do, but it's generally pretty fine for your unguided launches, so I'm going to be pretty happy with it. We're already at 20 kilometers and here, so we're higher than we need to be. So this should get us out of the atmosphere, and it should get us high enough before we have too many heating effects on the fairing. Assuming that doesn't happen, we'll check our altitude here, or our tilt relative to min-miss, and if we're close, I'll let it go. Our overheat's getting pretty bad, but it's also topping off, and we're almost out of solid fuel, so I think we'll be fine. Our apoapsis is way over the atmosphere, so that should be fine. Yeah, we're already, overheat is going down. Let's go ahead and check our tilt relative to min-miss. Negative 4.4. So what does that mean? I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means as far as when we should have launched. I kind of feel like it means we should launch closer to here. But I don't know that for a fact. And I think I'm going to take negative 4.4 as a victory. So let's go ahead and hit X. We have these things out of order. Oh, no, actually we don't. Let's go ahead and... yeah, that took care of that. Let's ditch the fairings. Let's now add our descending node, add a maneuver to fix our tilt. And then where is mid-miss? Mid-miss is over here, so we're gonna be doing our actual burn. Actually, yeah, we'll be doing our actual burn over here. So that's a perfect time to fix our tilt. So let's go ahead and hit T. We have all these options. Let's not target. Let's aim at our maneuver node. Something new, something we haven't been able to do yet in this game is aim at our maneuver node. Let's go ahead and extend one of these antennas, just this one. And let's warp to that maneuver node. Where are our antennas? Let's get those in the sun. One thing that would have been nice to do in this ship is to oh, I don't have the fairings turned on. I mean, it's too late now, but normally I put the struts on there. I thought they were the default, but I guess they're not. Let's go ahead and maybe, actually, I've been fiddling around with module manager configs. For all I know, I made that a thing. So let's go ahead and do this 7-second burn. And we have way more fuel than we need, so who cares how long these burns take. Or I shouldn't say how long they take. There we go. Should be at about 0, yeah. Okay, now min-miss is over here, so we'll do a right around here. Actually, we might need to burn our apoapsis up, because we got to go around pretty far. So let's get our periapsis out of the atmosphere. 70 should be fine, really. Yeah, let's go all the way up to 80. Let's splurge. Aim at that maneuver node like it's something we always do. Don't even think about it. Just aim at a maneuver node, you know, like you do. I do like that launch site, though. That launch site is awesome. I love being able to have my own launch sites, which is cool. Okay, this is a 17-second burn. Or 11 seconds shy of correct, but hey, who cares? We could actually just watch our periapsis here, and when it gets up to 80 or so, we can kill the engines. There we go. Perfect. Okay, now we can plan our min-miss ejection. It's probably going to be around here somewhere, maybe a little bit behind this. Maybe a lot bit behind this. Whoops. Let's see. Let's go ahead and do it with this guy here. Forward a little bit and retrograde a little bit. See, we're here. Min-miss is here. Yeah, I think we do. Yeah, we want to go forward and retrograde. That's better. And then see what we look like here. That's fine. Now we have one orbit that's going retrograde and one orbit that's going normal. So ideally we'd like to split the difference and aim it kind of this way. So let's go ahead and try for that now. Let's go really low key here. Change the time. Something like that. Yeah, that'd be fine. And if I go retrograde, that just brings it back, which is also fine. We're really not saving any fuel, so I don't really care. Okay, 11 minutes away. Make sure we have sunlight. Aim at this maneuver node. We don't really have sunlight anymore. This one's in the sun, right? Yeah. So we're fine. Let's go ahead and go. And it's easy to remember on this one which one is going to be the one going polar, because it's the one with the huge satellite dish on it, which is nice to know. It's 42-second burn. We should probably accept that Explore the Sun contract before this thing goes, because this thing's going to end up... what do you call it? Orbiting the sun. But I'm starting to think about maybe crashing it into Minmus. So as soon as we get this going, I'm going to get a collision course with Minmus, and then I'm going to go back to research and development and see what we have as far as mystery goo, or as far as we don't have antenna right now, which is weird. I don't know why we don't have antenna. I guess we're probably where Kerbal Space Center is. We just don't have, yeah, because there's the island airfield. So yeah, Harvester Massive just hasn't risen yet. Not a huge deal, but we do have a station on Minmus that has whatever it's called, ground station, right? Let's go ahead and switch to this guy. And actually confirm that. Mystery goo, experiment control, and satellite dish. So no, we don't. So there's no reason to crash this thing into anything. So let's get back to our ship here. Switch to. And as soon as he does have, let's aim him radial in, so he gets his solar panels in the sun. Oh, he has stuff now. So let's kill this maneuver node. Let's focus on Minmus. Let's go prograde. So yeah, there's no reason to crash this thing into Minmus. So I'm going to flip this around. Just get one of these close. The one that we can get close, we'll do it. And then, actually, you know what we can do? We can now drop this guy off. Let's go ahead and extend his antenna. Let's decouple him. Switch to him. Turn his computer on. And then rotate him a little bit. And then, honestly, he's probably fine. Let's aim him retrograde. Yeah, he won't crash into anything. And then that's actually pretty good. But let's set him up with a maneuver node here. To go a teeny tiny bit south. Just so he touches his orbit. And then that's more to get a alarm clock ad for him. Just so we have that on there. And then let's go ahead, and then you can burn retrograde. Something like that. And then we'll burn you south. Roughly the same place, but it doesn't have to be. We'll do it a little bit earlier. Let's add a maneuver here to burn you south until you touch here, give or take. Probably about right, give or take. Looks like it might be one too high, so we'll go there. Yeah. And then we'll add this maneuver node alarm. And that is where we're going to leave it. We're going to actually use the fuel in him to slow him down. Might as well. This guy's going to probably end up in orbit still connected to this thing. It's just the way we roll on this whole endeavor here. We're going to pick that up next time because it's been kind of a long episode. I hope you enjoyed watching this. Next time we're going to actually land and do all the stuff. We should probably get this guy, make sure he's actually in the sun. This guy as well. He has a chance to be in the sun. Let's aim him at his maneuver node and then tilt his solar panels there. But yeah, that'll all be next time. I hope you're looking forward to that. I'm definitely looking forward to doing it. I'm Superfluous J, and I will, as always, talk at you later. Love that space set.